Hey, Asa. Hey, Sophie girl. How are you? Good to see you. So again, today I want us to talk about communication, what that is. Hi, Mercy. I hope that is you. Yeah, communication. What is open communication? How can we better communicate? We are in lockdown and we have how many weeks to go now? About 3 weeks. And we are with family, and it might be very helpful for us to know how to communicate with each other. Otherwise, we are going to lock ourselves in our rooms. Do we? Can we? Yes, we can. Paula is here, girl. You made me stall. Gosh. Okay, let me get Paula again, and then we'll kick this off. Yeah. Okay, Paula. I am. Hi, Alvise. Paula, I'm sending you an invite. I hope you can see it. And then accept it. Okay, go live. Hello. Hey, Paula, I have sent you a request. I don't know if you can see it. You've been invited. I don't know how you see it, but I hope you can see it. Yeah. Wonder what the problem is now. Paula is not able to join. Paula, why are you not able to join? Okay. Well, I've sent you another request. I hope you're able to join now. Okay, so today's IG Live really is, I want us to tackle communication. Hi, girl.
Hi. I'm so sorry. The network has been over how? Hi.
We can ask that it will work in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Did you see me cleaning my camera? Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
Did you clean it before? Soiled. It's working.
It is. It is. We are here. Yay! Are we going to save this as IGTV just so I know when to be serious? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes. Okay. So I have stalled for like many minutes because the network was acting up.
Do you remember when I did that? Do you remember when I had to do that? Revenge.
You guys. So, without further ado, this is Paula Kaitesi, sis of mine, presenter of 104.5 FM, where it's all about, you know,
love.
Love. Okay. So I've already told these guys, see how my hair is standing. I've already told these guys we're talking communication today. And I was just saying, you know how we are in lockdown and we are going to be with the same people for like the whole 40 days, you know.
Yeah.
And I think many times it can be like when you say communication in relationships, when people will go to like girl and boy and all that, but then we forget the people that we actually stay with at home.
Yeah.
And I will be at home and I really want to be alone, but then I don't know how to like tell this person, just give me my space. And there will be like many things lost in translation. And by the time you know it, the week has gone and there's like a misunderstanding and like a tension going on. And I think it goes back and falls on our level of communication and how able we are able to communicate how we're feeling and how you're feeling. And also, what is communication to you? What is communication?
Messages. Um, communication. Funny how, well, of course, we're living with the same people, so communicating can be hard. But what is communication? It is letting the other person know. So I'm party A, right? So party B.
Right.
Letting the other person know exactly how I feel or what I want them to know, or buntungopo, small things, like letting them know, really putting them in the know, yeah, of things. I don't know if you wanted me to answer more, but yeah.
No, if you have any more to say, you can say whenever, but how would you describe effective communication? Because we know that is me telling you what I want you to know and make sure that you actually understand it. But what is effective communication? There's a dog barking.
I hear it, some dog. Anyway, effective communication would definitely involve a talker and a listener. And I think the problem comes in when we don't want to be, when both of us want to be the same thing. So both of us want to be the talker, or both of us are just not talkers and we both want to listen. Yeah. So I think that's what would hinder effective communication. So I'd say effective communication, I let you know what I want you to know. Yeah. I communicate, let's say, my feelings, and you listen, or you communicate your feelings and I listening. Okay. When we're talking about communication with God, we talked about how it's a two-way street. Like, we listen from him, he listens to us, he talks back, and we talk to him as well. So yeah, listener, talker, yeah,
Balance the both.
balance.
Yeah. And many times, because of our selfish nature, and by we mean like everyone, not this gender. Hold on.
Right.
I think we are really selfish. I want me to be heard. I want me to be understood. And me, why aren't you listening and seeing? But then, like you said, it has to be a two-way street of I need to hear you and listen. And then you also should do, the same thing. Paula, there's someone that's saying that she is your number one fan. Thank you.
Me, why can I not see the comments? But okay. Thank you.
I have no idea. But it's called
Right.
Mukasa.
I feel I'm also his number one fan.
Oh please, I am your number one fan. Thanks. Okay. So what do you think are our challenges to communication? I've mentioned one of us being selfish and wanting to be heard. But what do you think are some of the things that hinder effective communication?
Irene, that one is close to home. Very close, but
you go for it.
Pride.
With examples, please.
Irene, pride. I think many times we're just like, for you, don't you see it? I used to have a notion earlier in my life, in the earlier years, of if somebody hurts you, as in, isn't it obvious they've hurt you? Do you understand? Like, why do I need to communicate to you that you've hurt me? You know you did something wrong, right? So it was always an interesting one. You could have come to chase me out of studio, so my good light is going. But say hi to my friend.
Hi, Corey. Hi,
Anyway, I would constantly believe that if you've hurt me, I shouldn't be like the one to tell you. Like, for crying out loud, you know you've hurt me. So that was So that was a certain level of pride of why should I be the one to communicate my pain or things like that. Sorry, I'm over moving, guys. The hassle for good life.
Go for it.
So pride, but also sometimes we're just like, as in, if I tell you how I feel, then I feel like a certain part of me is taken away. Like
pride. Right.
For example, there's a friendship of mine that we are trying to resurrect, but had died completely. Yeah. And in my mind, I'd constantly be like, for that person, can't they come first? Or for him, doesn't he see that we have given away the gender? But anyway, yeah, you get.
Yeah.
So that pride of me, why do I have to? But also it ties into selfishness, yeah. Thinking about yourself, as you said, think about yourself more and saying, "Psh, if you hurt me, you're the one that's please, I don't communicate my things. Yeah, but also the way we were raised, Irene. Like, me to be honest, I love my mom with all my heart, but there are times I saw her communicating to me how she felt about things that, let's say, my dad was doing. And and when he came, she was all, oh, welcome back. Oh, hi, you know. And I'm just like, but you said you're mad. So for me, for a very long time, I thought you only communicate good feelings. When you have, when you feel negatively, you don't communicate it, please.
Conceal.
Yeah, that's conceal. So yeah.
The thing you said about if someone hurt me, like, isn't it obvious to you that you've actually done something silly or you've hurt me? And I think also that comes off in the way that then we react to that person going forward. Because Paula, you might do something to me, and if I'm thinking, no, like, you should know for real that you have hurt me in a certain way. And then you're not acting in a way that you should have. Maybe I'm sorry, I did this. And I'm like, friend, you know, you did something wrong, you know, and then somehow there will be a gap that grows between us. And by the time you know it, you're not talking. By the time you know it, you don't really remember becoming friends. And, and there's a time, you know, Sheila, our mom in Nairobi. I don't remember what she had done, so I kept quiet and I was just a bit distant for like I think it was the same day. And she's like, if I did something to you, would you tell me? You know, if I did something wrong to you, and I told her no. No. I said okay. But you need, and she was like, but you need to communicate your feelings. And for me, well, it's been a long time me putting into practice what she said, but
right.
Yeah. And so you talked about go.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you why you think it's easy for us to communicate. I'm not going with him. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Why it's easy to communicate positive feelings over negative ones, and I wanted to hear from you. For you, why do you think it's like in your case? Why is it also your upbringing or things around your experience? Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that question.
You weren't. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's just us learning. Maybe it's like a defense mechanism of how we grew up. You sort things yourself. You know, there's no one around going to like pat you on the back or be like, oh, you know, sorry. We learned to suck it up and, you know, push under the rug whatever feels uncomfortable in that moment and move on. And I think that is how then you learn to communicate the good things, and you don't know how to have a face-to-face in case of confrontation or misunderstanding. Like even now, it's not my strength to be like, Paula, you did this and that and this and that and that. I'll be like, I will first like go to God and be like, do I need to? I think I tell them they need something.
I know, can you convict them?
Because you convict, you know. So why aren't you convicting? So I'd rather sometimes I think in a facade of seeking peace, to be like, okay, let us just leave it, and you will leave the uncomfortable conversations and move on with what is good. But then you're leaving many things unresolved, you know, within you and also in the situation, and it comes back to bite.
But also, I don't think I've had very good experiences in the past with communicating negative feelings. For example, there's just, I think we've had this conversation, Irene, of how hard it is to revive a friendship after you communicate that the person hurt you. It's the hardest thing. Like we don't exactly take criticism or things like that well. So sometimes I think about the whole process. I say, now this Irene, if I tell her that she hurt me in a certain way, it's going to be a whole thing. Then before you know it, we are awkward. We can't meet and talk properly. So it just results into, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. Or I'll rather not say my feelings. So I feel like among the things we have to deal with the way we take criticism. Like, bro, have you had those?
It shouldn't be. But yeah. Oh my God, yes. Okay, with like, now this particular person. Where are you going now?
I'm going outside because the mister has to do his show. But okay.
Will you have good light? Will you be shining?
I'll have good light.
Okay, so there was this friendship, and I had to confront this person concerning a particular thing. And at first, first of all, when I'm going to like have the conversation, I first like write down everything that I'm going to say so that I don't go off, and so that I keep like everything focused, and so that I do not forget.
Yeah.
So I write them down. I think I sent a text, and then I really wanted to like go face to face. I was like, I don't have the boldness to. So I and it ended up being awkward. Like you said, for real, it was awkward. I was like, you know what? At least I have let But at least I communicated what I thought, what I felt, how I felt, concerning particular things I was being treated and all. And I listened, I think. But yeah, it's awkward now. And I don't
Thanks to
want
communication.
I don't think I want to like go on with that friendship. I want it to be as casual as possible, and if it cannot be a high, I will. Yeah. But you talked about how we were raised up, and can culture, gender, nationality, or social class even have an effect on communication? The other thing, women communicate differently compared to men.
You had to bring in that gender. But
I had to.
Definitely.
You guys watching the action, put it in the comment section if you think girls and men and women communicate differently, but also if our gender, ethnicity, upbringing affects our communication. Go.
Yeah. I don't want to be very feminist, but anyway, yes. Girls definitely communicate different from boys, and I think in romantic relationships that's one of the things that makes it hard. Yeah, because we communicate differently. Now, me as me, when you hurt me, sometimes my facial expressions might communicate, and in my head that's effective communication. Yeah, like I'm not happy with you, and you will tell from when you come to say hi to me, and I'm just like, or or when you send me a text, let's say virtually, can you hear me though? The noise is a little bit.
We can hear you, but there's a lot of noise in the background. Can you go to the toilet?
No, no thanks. Let's look for a better place with less noise. Okay, less noise but no good lighting. But oh well.
You're still good.
I'm still good. Yes. So, sorry guys. Sorry, the noise is bad. But yes, I was saying, girls definitely communicate more with their heart, with feelings, but also expressions and non-verbal communication. And guys, I don't know, they're weird. Like sometimes, no offense to the guys, but sometimes if they communicate, it's either too harsh, like, yeah, I've told you your things. They have very little regard to emotion and all of that. Or if that is if they communicate, right? Or if they don't, they'll over sugarcoat it. Do you understand? So say, Irene, you made me feel a certain kind of way yesterday, but it's not that
You
deep.
did something.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
something, but it's okay. Do you understand? And yet they're really hard. So yeah, we are very different. Very, very different. I've walked away from my good lighting. Now I can't find my good side. But anyway.
Child. But
yeah.
remember the Jonathan McReynolds that we watched?
Yes.
About
guys
about
being very
open.
Like, yes.
But also girls running on emotion, you know.
And then
how
not,
then
not regarding guys' emotions because they are over. Anyway, it was in that line.
How then do we actually strike a balance for us who mostly lead with emotion? How do we be more logical, and how do guys actually walk over so that we meet in the middle?
Yeah. I told you this. So Farash, my auntie that doesn't know she's my auntie, said she was talking and she said sometimes we need, like, when it comes to love, or not even just romantically, even between you and I, between friends, what kills us is we love based on ourselves rather than love based on the people we're loving. For example, Irene, you know I'm a quality time person. Luckily you are too, but anyway. So I will probably want to love you by spending time with you, and in my head that's enough. And yet, if for you your love language is, let's say, gifts, I know it's not, but let's say it's your love language, instead of me taking off time to love you like that, I'd be thinking, so do you understand what I mean? So I think if we stopped thinking about ourselves and thinking about loving other people from our, point of view, it would help us a lot. Because then for the guys, they'll be like, you know what? Maybe I need to communicate this thing to Paula a little bit more, better, or I should get to the point. And for me, I'll know I need to stop thinking that my facial expressions are enough and actually say the words, Yeah. So thinking about the other person, basically.
And that also, you mentioned quality time, and also it should also go back to how does this person, how do they receive and give love? And I think that is the beginning thing.
Yeah.
You know how their weakness and strength depend on their personality. So you will know how to actually go around.
So I cannot hear you well. What did you say? Sorry, you're very low.
I am, even if you're in a loud place.
Okay, now I can hear you. What did you say?
Oh, because I'm shouting. Mark, can you hear Paula? Paula say something. Mark is online.
Hi, Mark.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying we need to use the love language thing of how does this person give and accept love, and then those personality types have weaknesses and strengths. Know those strengths. As a person, you don't really need to go and read a book, but you would know Paula's weaknesses and how she handles conflict, and I think go with that. And also this translates to workplace, because sometimes you have to work with people that are just hard, and that hard people might be me, right? Yeah. And
you're
so
dear. You're touching a very
hey dear. Hey. But how do we actually work better with communication at our workplace? You can use your workplace as an example.
Well, first of all, we need to, I guess I need to understand that not all workmates, excuse me, not all workmates are friends. Yeah. Because normally the expectation of they should be able to figure that out, or they should be able to understand that they didn't really treat me well. That expectation comes because I think you're my friend. So understanding that sometimes it's really just a workmate, okay? You guys are going to have to say hi to somebody else. It's an Instagram live.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
So,
Wow, Paula.
love you too. Love you guys too. But anyway, so understanding that, okay, so if I'm going to, if I need something to get done, I'm going to have to communicate, okay? I'm going to have to let Irene, my workmate, know that she's being fake, okay? But then, in as much as she's not my friend, she's a human being. So I'm going to look for the best way to say it. So I'm not going to fear that a friendship is going to be lost, but also I'm going to be respectful while at it. So Irene, I really think you didn't bring your best at this thing that you were supposed to do. I think you were a little bit lacking, yeah? And things like that. Also, I feel like where you need to create a friendship, it doesn't take much to. You can create it for a couple of weeks, then after communicating, you get back. But
You move on.
you move on. But just knowing that not all workmates are friends, so yeah, treating them with the respect they deserve, but also communicating. Yeah. I'm wise.
Also, I think
I'm wise.
that wisdom needs to be passed on. Write a book or something. But concerning like workplace communication, I feel like sometimes also because of position. So you will get, say, a superior that has, in one way or another, arrived as if, and they might think that they know it all. So there's a conflict that might arise, and the thing eventually about respect. But we also should be able to actually be humble enough, actually, like you said, handle criticism well.
Yeah.
Because you might correct somebody up there and it might not turn out good for you, you know.
Yeah.
But let's switch it up a little bit. Remember what we're talking about? We're in lockdown, we're in long distance relationships, districts and districts, you know. House is online, everything is online, and there was an instance, the person is not here, give us a story, but who, like, imagine a girl and a boy are not talking, but they're dating, and they're in the same group chat, and the girl can see the guy texting, but the guy is not using the same phone to call or even text, and the girl is like, what is going on? How would you handle such a situation?
I feel like we need to stop being dramatic friends. Like if I have something to tell you, guys, however long it takes me to, I will tell you. But I'm not going to lose my sleep over the fact that you're online and you're not talking to me. No, friends, no. Like
Have you been in a relationship, I don't know, situationship or friendship where there's been silence, you know, on either side, but there was no particular reason why, and you're like, what happened?
Bro, the truth is I've never been there. Why? because I am one of the most conversational people I know. So
Yeah.
when I sense awkwardness happening, unless you're saying I've tried to reach out and there's no response. But normally when I sense awkwardness happening, I'm like, yo, what's happening? I say, like, what is going on? Or I just ask, is it normal that you haven't talked to me in weeks? And unless the person is persistent and they're not exactly, giving back the energy, then there I might be bothered. But silence from nowhere, no, I haven't been there. This one I can't
Thank
relate.
you, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it has happened, but for a friend. For a friend. And it was, you know how sometimes it's like, I don't know what's happened between the two of us, because one time you were good and all and high and yes, and then the next couple of days it's nothing. And then you also don't know how to go. Me, I wouldn't know about. I'm like,
What's
you.
happening?
So what I actually do, I just leave things as they are and resolve.
And
And
vibe.
then move on. Okay. So I have a few things, challenges to good communication. You can comment on any that I might
Oh,
mention.
yeah. I can't hear you again.
Oh, hola!
No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't.
Want me to shout? Okay. So I have challenges to good communication, and you can comment on any as I go. Yeah. So one is people who think communication is about what you say versus how you say it.
First, wait, give
Versus
me a minute. Give me a minute, girl.
Can you not be dramatic though?
But I can't. It's not in my nature not to be dramatic.
It ain't.
But you, girl. What? Say that again. Because, hey.
People who think communication is about what you say versus how you say it. Again, moment of silence.
So, speaking of, have you met people who say, me, I'm rude. That's just how I am. Or,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
me, I say things the way they are. That's just me.
They don't sugarcoat nothing. Truth.
Bro, that's just you being lazy to change your toxic traits, yeah? Because you can always communicate something better. You can always be a better person, but no, you choose not to. And then after you put it on, that's how I am. Please, give us a break.
Preach.
Louder. With my nails. I'm snapping with my
Yes.
nails.
You can
Yeah.
see.
Anyway.
Yeah, but the thing you said about how I think many times they'll be like, for me that is how I am. Or I'm naturally rude, I'm naturally, all that. And there's some people who will actually they bother the way that they talk to a person. And growing up, I don't know if I still am. I think these days I'm Tima Jack over. But like growing up,
Yeah.
the way you said something to me would stick with me, and I would
Yes.
never forget how
Yes.
you made me feel. I think people will never forget how you made them feel. Not so much how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And someone will say something, they might mean it like in a good way, but then the way it comes off, it just scars you for life, and you're just not the same.
Yeah.
So the way we say what we say really matters.
Really matters.
These
Also,
days, I'm like,
there's people that are big-headed. Well, I don't want to point my fingers to myself, but I am. And
yeah,
I remember also me growing up, there are times somebody would say the same thing differently, and it would influence what I'm going to do. For example, Paula, go wash the dishes. Versus, could you please wash the dishes? My friend, if you said it in the former way, rest assured I'm going to stay sitting. But if you treat me like we are both adults, okay, that know what to do, yeah. Or even in the small things like Irene, Why didn't you reply my message? You know those people? First of
Entitled
all,
means, like, wait,
I
actually,
wasn't
I did not
supposed
reply
to.
this way.
Right. Right? Like, why are you so entitled though? Anyway, versus, oh, I sent you a message, by the way. Did you see it, or did you like things like that? You're like, please, just
Yeah,
communicate
yeah,
with. Ah,
yes, how
anyway,
you say it.
how you say it.
Okay. So the other one is people who focus too much on being heard instead of listening to others.
I don't know why you're so wise. I don't
Your
know.
face, though, your face. You're like, preach, okay?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, but we talked about this in the beginning about
Yeah.
many times we want to be heard and, you know, us being people and human beings
Yeah.
instead of listening, slow to speak, quick to listen. Okay, so the other thing, people who use the wrong channel to send a message, such as choosing to discuss a difficult situation with someone else through a weak channel, such as text, email, or through someone else, third party. Do you remember about your phone, how we were supposed to ask?
Oh my god.
Nowadays, no.
You are
Text,
annoyed.
people will break up in text. Can you imagine?
You are really annoyed, but it's like those jokes that people throw around of she broke up with him through text. Like it wasn't enough that she was breaking up with him. It was through text.
Yeah.
So like
Imagine.
yeah, that's true. That's a point. Your avenue for what you're communicating.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also what is it that you're communicating? We really need to be sensitive to some things.
Oh well.
So not re-evaluating whether effective communication is happening, checking to see if people actually understood what was said. Because
Yeah.
many times we will go with what we assumed or what we perceived, and we will stick with that. We'll be like,
That is
please,
it.
okay, yeah, and
I
I
think
don't
that's
want
true.
to see what.
That's true because again, many times we don't want to get out or we don't understand that we're different people and that we grew up differently, yeah. Yes, you're my sister, but the truth is we had different upbringings and some of the things you believe in I don't believe in. So of course some of the things that you're going to say I'm going to misunderstand. Or yeah, there are many people, I agree this example is too close to home, but well, there are many people who have, and you know, in the past called me a radical feminist, yeah, because yeah, some of the things I some of the things I say, you have to really listen or really try to understand, or even follow up and say, oh, when you said this, what did you mean? Or just seek to understand, yeah, and not go
Yeah.
with what you think I have said. So yeah, point.
Yeah. One, there's, where did I hear it? But I think in the Five Love Languages book of Gary Chapman, and he was saying when you're expressing your concern about an issue with someone, use, I think I wrote it down here, use expressions with I. So that means that if I have an issue with Paula, I tell Paula, when you did this, it made me feel like this. I felt this when you did that. Instead of saying
You
you,
made me feel like
yeah, because that was, it might have not been the intention. So first affirming, okay, not affirming, putting out our emotions up there and then seeking to understand the other person's intention was.
yeah,
Not go, you know, with what we think is the right way. Okay.
love it.
Okay. So last question, I think,
Mm.
that was asked yesterday by Madame Diana, who is not
Who
here.
is not here? Diana.
But is communication a deal breaker? I know what you say, but Go ahead. In relationship, deal breaker.
Yes. Well, it broke the last relationship I was in.
Tell us more. Tell us more.
Anyway, yes, it's a deal breaker because, and I guess that's for everybody, because when we're not communicating, we're working on assumptions. And if you say something, Irene, that I misunderstand, my assumption is Irene doesn't care about me. Yeah, Irene doesn't love me. And if Irene doesn't love me, why am I in a relationship with her? Do you understand? So yeah, it's a deal breaker for me. Should be a deal breaker for everyone, but well, yeah, it's definitely a deal breaker for me.
Yeah. So
Wait,
how?
sorry,
Who is that? Where are you
sorry,
going?
sorry.
Okay. Yeah, but we're done. You could go. Oh, bye. Bye. Do you want us to say hi to that person that did
No,
not say?
no, this one is too rowdy. He might decide to stay.
Okay. I think just in closing,
Yeah,
in this lockdown, we are stuck with people. Okay, not stuck, but we are going to be with people for the next we don't know how many days.
yeah.
With all that we have said, how do we just communicate better?
Stop being selfish. That's the easiest way I can put it. Stop thinking about yourself more than is necessary. Like the world doesn't start and end with you because you felt a certain kind of way because of something I did. Does not mean that that was my intention. I mean, I'm responsible for what I say, not what you understand. So
Yeah.
let's stop thinking about ourselves. If you hurt me, Irene, and I was honestly hurt, I should be mature enough to say, "Hi, Irene. I think you could have said this better. I think you did this, that, and it made me feel like this," or things like that. And in a place where, well, many of us, or you could be living with somebody who's not exactly open to communication, very traditional people. For them,
Yeah.
by the way, I guess the position of your heart should be what is your role? Like for me, Paula, what is my role? So for me, I'm going to communicate better. If you don't want to communicate, honey, that's your problem. Me, I will communicate. So
Sounds like I need.
that's a you problem. When you do something to me, I'm going to communicate that. When I'm sorry, I'm going to communicate that. When I feel like we both can do better, I'm going to communicate that. So yeah, I think in families where people are not as rigid, please stop being
Yeah.
about yourself. In families where people are rigid, work on yourself and the way you communicate, and the rest we'll get with the program later. Yeah.
The program.
Yes, we'll get
Girl,
with
yes.
that. Mhm.
And
Thank you,
we shall
sis.
be back with another IG
Soon.
live on another topic.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Thank you, Paula, for coming. God bless ya.
God bless you. Thank you, guys. Whose comments I cannot see, sadly. It's all right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so thank you guys, David. I do not know if you're still on. If you're not, thank you. Sylvie, Katie, Stevens, Paul, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, just an encouragement to be open while communicating and be honest. I'm talking about communication and relationships. We know that the very most important relationship that should matter to each and every one of us is our relationship with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And if you don't know God, if you do not know Jesus, I think communication starts there, to know Him, to get to know his heart, because he already does know you. Just get intimate with him. And I think 2 days back, I was in my bed and I just didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how I was feeling. A lot was going on. And the only person I could talk to in that moment was God. So I got my Bible and read and sang and prayed and cried. And yeah, when I read the Bible is when I actually had or remembered what God had for me in that moment. So it's also communication as well. So work on that relationship first and communication. And yeah, we hope this lockdown is better in that regard. And God bless you. Thank you for watching. And Evelyn Princess and our convos. God bless you.